Okay, Saturday, September the 9th, 2017, and I'm in central Beds again, doing free walk 232, Lidlington to Flitwick. It's around 14 miles between two different train lines, this one being on the line between Bedford and Bletchley, and obviously Flitwick being on the St Pancras main line. Bit of a dubious day today because although the sun's out right now, I've just missed a storm, as you can see from these clouds. So filming could get interrupted later as further storms are forecast this afternoon, around about kick-off time for the football. Anyway, this is around 14 miles, as I say, or I think I said, between these two stations, through some familiar territory that we've done on a previous walk, I believe. Flitwick Circular perhaps. So let's get cracking. It's 12:19 now. Should be done by 6 at the latest. 5 hours is the predicted time for this walk, but let's see. This particular railway line is a community run railway line and will eventually form part of the Cambridge to Oxford line, which it used to do many years ago. Talking to the guard on the train though, seems like it's a long way off at the moment. I thought it was well in hand, but clearly not. Another example of where the money for HS2 could be better spent, making better improvements to the system we've already got. Commemoration of Silver Jubilee. See here we're following something called the Marston Vale Timberland Trail. There's confirmation of it on these bollards that I'm passing through up the grassy trail, passing a very old cemetery here as the heavens decide to open up a bit. In the distance there you can see some kind of infilled brickworks lake. As now the heavens really open up, I've got to stop. Some good views down across the plain. Lidlington is well known for its vehicle testing centre. I don't know whether that's anything to do with Vauxhall or Formula 1. Google it. Amazing, the sun's out over there. Just pot luck at the moment. The name of the testing centre, which is behind this fence on my left, which we're following for 3 kilometres apparently, is Millbrook, and there's, I believe, some mention of that in the walk notes. Quite a descent now through some wonderful mixed deciduous woodland, getting very autumnal, many leaves on the floor already, particularly those affected by leaf miner, of which there aren't many in this wood yet. To some Scots pine territory, and interestingly over there on my right someone's having a bonfire, camping no doubt. There's a post, finger post down here next to the VM boundary marker, whatever that is. Anyway, rain's left off a bit just as I got my waterproof on, hence the delay. Just done 1 mile at this point as well, interestingly, at this boundary marker, 1 mile into the walk. See, it's quite wet, this being a sort of green sand type surface, but the smells are wonderful, particularly after the shower of rain. Walking through this woodland, really invigorating. And with today's rain, which you can probably hear beating down now, it's the drenching variety. Just comes straight down, drenches you, and comes down pretty quickly. It's only a second ago that I was saying that he'd left off. Anyway, I'm stood under an obliging, what looks like a lime tree. Got some little seeds there. I might be wrong. Probably am wrong, but it's giving me shelter for the time being. This juncture, we don't go straight ahead of the golf course there, where there are actually players playing in the rain. But instead we turn left here, walking alongside the golf course. Thankfully the sun's back out, rain's left off, but for how long this time? Wonderful walking this, nice and soft underfoot, and so apart from the little bit of rain. Right, I've just taken a little grassy path on the left, offering a viewpoint, but this is probably the only one of the benches left. All the others appear to have been smashed up. The viewpoint is a little bit disturbed by fencing, but certainly offers a cracking view. Let's stand on the bench and see if it improves things. So there you have it, the view beyond the Millbrook testing ground over to the old brickworks and their lakes. The sun's come out just at the right time for this, eh? And then promptly gets hidden by a cloud. Interesting little memento to commemorate the Golden Jubilee in 2002 of Queen Elizabeth II. This is in the same position as the benches offering the vista. Wonderful array of ferns now. I do love this part of the summer, just prior to everything going brown and dying. Not so keen on that, albeit that there are some wonderful colours, admittedly. That church up on the hill is our next destination apparently. Might be a tad early for lunch, but we'll see. Just done 2 miles, so a bit early. Glad I didn't come here next weekend. Look at that, good timing. This path will be chock-a-block with people doing the challenge. 20 miles a day. Usual story, get a parking area and a load of rubbish gets dumped. Really is infuriating. There you have it, Millbrook. Very good actually, it seems to have testing facilities for all types of terrain vehicle. Back on the old Monkjack Trail. Yeah, recent smash here by the looks of it. Passing a not very busy Checkers. There's a reason why. It's up for sale. So may or may not be around much longer. Like many rural pubs. Vista over the golf course. And in the background there you can see what I mean about the all-terrain testing facilities at Millbrook. Interestingly, the owner of the Checkers pub came out, wondered what I was filming. I explained and said that possibly this video might be able to help us sell the pub. There is quite a lot of land attached to that pub, and clearly I would imagine developers get hold of that, could stick a row of houses there, a row of terraces. Anyway, right move for those that are interested, no doubt. Let's go and have a look at this church. Very pleasant stone that, isn't it? Lovely. Warm, solid. Locked up, mind you. Shame, because the storm porches are very useful refuges for the likes of them. Feels like it's going to rain again in a minute. Great vista from up in the church tower, I'm sure. I'm only getting a piece of it here over the hedge. Walk a bit further along though and you do get the full view. Look at that, wonderful. Interestingly, there's more jet noise here from Luton than there was last week when we were almost in Luton. Rain is definitely coming again. Bless their souls. I think the word hero is being bandied about a little bit too often at the minute. Often used for people that are simply doing their jobs. These are the real heroes. I mean, people are getting named heroes for giving up smoking for the month of October. That is absolutely ridiculous. Sorry, I got that wrong. It's not smoking, it's the booze, which is even worse. Absolutely incredible. Another pleasant view across the Vale with some kind of railway line there. Can't be the Bletchley main line, although it does look like it's electrified, which the Marston Vale line isn't yet. Hopefully you can just make out there the giant hangars at Cardington. Can't see any Zeppelin type balloons there though today, but those hangars have been visible on a couple of our walks recently up here. First signs of what I'm not looking forward to today. Cattle. Almost inevitable I'm going to bump into some today, I feel. Can't remember if these are llamas or alpacas. I think they're smaller, so it's alpaca. Delfield Farm this is. Apparently under this section, down below, is the Thameslink line. Got another one of those inscriptions again there. Just before the two-railed bridge, which is here. In Ampthill Park. But the instructions refer to some yellow top marker posts to the right of the chestnut tree there, which does have leaf miner, as I mentioned earlier. Such a sad, destructive thing that is. Now looking at Lake View, which you will see shortly, in Ampthill Park. 2nd Earl of Upper Ossory. Anyway, let's get cracking with the real view. Now you can see why it's called Lake View. What a wonderful vista. In fact, I think I'm going to take my lunch here. It's 2 o'clock. There are appropriate facilities for lunch here. Wind's picking up and rain is due, so really I need to have eaten before that comes. This is looking towards Bedford, I believe, in the very distance, somewhere over there. So there you can see where we are, just about. We were looking at Park House, apparently. Very nice park this, by the looks of it. Not sure I've been here before. I think we'll take this pew here, one for the road, donated by Richard John Hartop, who died in 2000. Good on you, John. Richard, rather. There's a bit more of the vista to the left. In fact, I think I'll take this bench because it's drier than the other one. And is in front of this cross, Catherine's Cross, erected to commemorate Catherine of Aragon, who was imprisoned here in Ampthill Castle, which was formerly on this site. There's another cross over there as well. Rain may even stop play here. Starting to feel some droplets falling. Bad timing. Just in front of Ampthill Park Hub, which provides refreshments, but unfortunately at the moment it's still raining, so I had to abandon my plans for lunch on the ridge, unfortunately, and I'll press on into Ampthill. Now walking along the tree-lined avenue next to Ampthill Rugby Club. Training or a game about to go on by the looks of it. Interesting, because they were still out playing cricket on the other side of the road. Rain's leaving off a bit now, thankfully. Yeah, playing Old Albanians. Not sure what league they're in, probably the same as Hitchin. Entering Cooper's Hill, and as you can hear in the background, the rugby is getting underway. Cooper's Hill is Bedfordshire's largest remaining area of heathland, apparently, and as you can see at the moment, very heavy rain, so I'm not going to get much filming done at for the next bit into Ampthill by the looks of it. Shame, was always on the cards though. Now as it happens, at about 20 to 4, I'm back in the position I wanted to be when the rain started about an hour ago, so that's fate. Was unable to film most of Ampthill, including the lunchtime pub, Prince of Wales, but not to worry. Rain's only just left off, and as I say, for how long I don't know, so I'm going to grab my lunch here before entering Laurel Wood here on my right, and the instructions for finding this particular bit are a little bit confusing, I would say. So here we go, lunch is served, and Arsenal are winning 2-0, which is good news. Okay, lunch has been had, and while I've been having it, sitting here, I was watching this buzzard flying over the wood that I'm about to enter, and as the sun's gone in and the threat of rain increases, he's taking refuge on the top of that tree there. right at the max of my lens range. But that's a good enough shot. Just taken refuge from causing mayhem over the woods. Almost as if he knows the rain's coming. Or possibly she. Anyway, I've got to press onwards and upwards and leave this lovely spot before the heavens open. Information panel about Houghton House, the house beautiful in John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress. Google that if you wish. There is Houghton House. Splendid view over the Vale, which hopefully we'll get to see shortly if the heavens don't prevent us. Rain is not far off. Certainly a cracking view from the entrance of the house. Stewartby brickyard over there, and there's the house itself just in range. Yeah, there's the brickyard, chimneys of Stewartby. Only some building, or was. Fantastic views from the back of the house. Apparently the house was acquired by the Lord Upper Ossory again. Same guy that owned Ampthill Park, which makes sense. And Capability Brown was involved with the gardens. The front of the house. Yep, some pretty good views up here for central Bedfordshire. Gives the impression of being a lot higher up here than it actually is. It's not that high, it's not sort of like, you know, North Downs or South Downs high, but the view over the Vale, very impressive. Okay, because of the time, it's 5 o'clock now nearly. I seem to be a long way behind schedule, probably because of the rain earlier. I'm going to miss out this section, which is around about 1,000 metres of nature reserve in the woods, which ordinarily would be right up my street. But as I say, I've got to be cautious of the time, because I'm probably only about 6 miles into a 14-mile walk at the minute, and it's 5 o'clock. Don't know what's gone wrong here, but way behind schedule. So I need to crack on just in case we get more rain as well, and the potential for cattle later. So I'm going to miss this out, bypass it and press on. Now walking to the edge, by the edge of the wood, get some cracking views to the left, to my right, sorry. See what I mean about cattle over there as well. Bound to encounter some today, I just know it. Yeah, the old sheep are there in this field, opposite Meadowside. It's getting a bit gloomy again, worryingly. That's why I need to press on. Well, I must say there's some pretty good scenery around for Bedfordshire. Well impressed. Got the old mausoleum over there. journey there ahead of us. Not sure what those hills are in front. Can't be the Houghton Ridge extension, surely. It's about to enter Maulden Church Meadow Nature Reserve, place where we were the other week on probably the Flitwick Circular. And those hills in the distance are indeed the Barton Hills. This is Maulden Wood on my left. Yeah, the Barton Hills and beyond where we were a couple of weeks back and last week on the Lee Grave to Harlington walk. Approach Maulden Church. That looks very ominous, doesn't it? Amazing bit of cloud though. It's covering up the sun, as you can see. Church is just ahead of me there. That's the information board again that I filmed the other week. Interesting, the Aylesbury Mausoleum and Crypt is open tomorrow. Memorial to Diana, Countess of Oxford and Elgin. So there we have it. St Mary the Virgin, Maulden. And as you can see, R5 already gone. The old scout van's still there. Looks like it's going to be there forever. Here we go. Duck End Nature Reserve. Just as the heavens open, so I've got to stop filming. There's Pullock's Hill Water Tower. To the left, bright sunshine. To the right, absolutely pouring down. Very localised, this rain. Let's hope I get the left of the Pullock's Hill weather. Look at that, massive contrast. Yellow top footpath marker falling over, but this section of the walk is repetition from the Flitwick Circular. This is the Blackmore Industrial Park again, so I'll be choosy about which bits I film henceforth. Also, it's I might get forced into not being able to film anyway, but at least you know hereafter that the walk will be exactly the same as it was on the Flitwick Circular. St Mary the Virgin back there in the distance. Usually have good promontories, churches, reflecting their former defensive purpose. Bit ironic that, isn't it? All this was here previously, but obviously a good place to store it. And also, if you look on my right, that dike wasn't so full of water either. Good oak. Section of footpath after Blackmore Industrial Estate hasn't been touched since I last came here a couple of months ago. Absolute nightmare. Really needs improving. On a day like today, you get absolutely soaked walking through all that vegetation. That A507 that I've just crossed, very busy road. That's my route back home later. Now entering what is likely to be a very wet Flitwick Moor. Still, fingers crossed it doesn't rain anymore. It's not looking that bad at the moment. Fingers crossed. Well, there's some cattle that's safely on the other side of this brook on my right. clearing Flitwick Moor. In fact, I might be lucky because if memory serves me well, there aren't any more opportunities for cattle to be grazing between here and the station. Fingers crossed. Green woodpecker having lunch with the rabbits. Or supper, I should say, as we approach sunset. Looks like a juvenile one to me. Can't see its nice bright red colours. Certainly having a good old go there. Not just for drumming on trees, greens. Not that they do that much actually. It's the greater and lesser spotted, I think, that do that more than the green. Now returning to familiar territory again, Flitwick Moor Nature Reserve. I'm not going to bother with the what I called the Rupert Trail last time, which was the sort of more wooded and wetter path through the wood. I think I'll just follow the main path, main trail this time. Well, that was very lucky. The very last field I could possibly go through is full of cattle. But luckily, my onward journey is 65 metres to the right and into the wood. This way. What a bit of luck. I'm going to take this route tonight along the boardwalk because that was the route I went last time. The interesting Rupert Trail. There's enough smell in here tonight. Must be the fresh rainfall topping up the dikes and stirring it all up. Hope you can hear that. Lovely to hear in a forest. Gurgling of a brook. It was a bit drier last time I was here, so the little ditches and dikes and gullies and brooks were all dry. Wonderful. Good walking at this time of night because everything's out busy catching its last bit of food before nightfall. Bracket fungus on its favourite food, birch. Of course, we're approaching the time of year now when the old fungi are abundant. So here we are, 7:15. Taken me much longer than I thought it would, mainly because of the rain. Anyway, apart from the rain, that was a very pleasant walk, all 14 mile of it. It's just stopped raining again. Sunset in about half an hour. So yeah, free walk 232 completed. That only leaves one more in this region, which is the Hitchin Circular, ironically, my hometown, to be done. And I don't know when I'll do that, because it's quite a long one at 16 miles. Need a long day for that, and a dry one. Till the next time then.